What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and yes, finally a non-Elon topic for you. Although my first video, I did one earlier video that was non-Elon that you guys really liked, and I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. Now, we all know the big, juicy booty AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. We know she's not very smart. We know that she's essentially an e-girl who has accomplished nothing. And if she was, in my opinion, if she was 400 pounds, she never would have won the election. That's just my opinion. I don't know. People are stupid. So I guess you don't know. But she made a movie. And it was so bad. I mean, so bad that it made less than $80 per theater that it was in. Exclusively in theaters. I cannot believe this is happening. I'm so happy. I might have to go change. But good thing I have a perfect solution. This video sponsor, Sheath. Huge shout out to this video sponsor. That's right, Sheath. These boxers are designed to keep your balls off your legs. Sheath has 3 individual compartments to keep everything down there separate and cool and comfortable. And hey, since they've been a long-time sponsor, I've heard from many of you who have tried out Sheath and really love it. They were invented by a U.S. Army soldier who came up with the idea for Sheath during his second tour in Iraq, where it was hot as heck and his boys needed to breathe. And on top of all sorts of awesome designs for Sheath, they've added all sorts of winter items, hoodies, gator necks, and all sorts of base layers. Head on over to the link in the description and pin comment down below. Use my promo code to save and support the channel and keep everything nice, cool, and dry. Hey, I know it's like weird to think about, especially for fellas, but changing what you put on every day. But I promise it'll be worth trying it out, and you've got literally like nothing to lose. So check them out. Strong channel sponsor. Everyone I talk to that tries them loves them. This Christian Toto, a good guy, got to meet him out in Montana on the set with Gina Carano. Humble brag. AOC's climate change doc To the End scores just $80 a theater. Team behind Knock Down the House can't rally for Enviro call to arms. The 2019 documentary Knock Down the House got plenty of love from both Netflix and movie critics. The latter hailed the film with a 99% fresh rating. The documentary following rising progressives like Representative Ocasio-Cortez, Cori Bush, etc. Netflix scooped up the film after its Sundance Film Festival debut, which meant the movie going public never got a chance to ever weigh in on the film. Netflix viewers had their say, though, giving the movie a dismal 11% Rotten Tomatoes score. Yikes. Filmed over 4 years of hope and crisis, To the End captures the emergence of a new generation of leaders. They're not leaders. And the movement behind the most sweeping climate change legislation in history. They've done nothing. Award-winning director Rachel Lears of Knock Down the House follows 4 exceptional young women. The film debuted over the weekend on 120 screens across the United States, a number typical of movies hoping to grab enough of an audience earlier to merit a wider release. Critics loved it, although not as enthusiastically as Knock Down the House. RogerEbert.com predicted the film will ignite more Americans to take action on climate change. Not if few Americans actually think about it. $80 per theater means 4 people, maybe 5. 5 people per theater the entire weekend paid to see that movie. 5. The movie came in 33rd place over the weekend at the box office, earning a paltry $9,600. Oscar bait films have struggled this season. The failure can be attributed to several factors: the industry's alienation of key swaths of the American public, films disconnected from viewer interest, the proliferation of streaming platforms eating into audience demand. Audiences no longer trust critics like they once did. I know I'm one of those people. Like, oftentimes I'll use a critic, a critic review of something being terrible as like a good sign, you know? I trust movie reviewers on YouTube much more than I would any idiot that contributes for Rotten Tomatoes. Recent climate change documentaries have similarly failed to score with U.S. audiences. 2040, released 3 years ago, didn't even get a theatrical debut stateside and earned $1 million in global ticket sales. This year's The Territory, about indigenous people fighting against climate change, earned $70,000 during its theatrical run. I mean, it's amazing. They obviously paid. I mean, they lost. They had to have absolutely lost their rear end on this movie. This trailer has 550,000 views, all paid, I'm sure. If you're not watching the screen, guess how many likes it has? 160. It has tens of thousands of dislikes as well. The media is actually expecting us to fail. Well, that aged well. The best part was when AOC single-handedly, we got like, ends the super meanie cisgender white supreme sun monster. Then without skipping a beat, she looks at the camera and whispers, "Wakanda forever." Warms my heart seeing this trailer getting ratioed into oblivion. Purely for viewers of CNN and MSNBC, but where are they? Certainly not in theaters. Congrats to AOC on this masterpiece. The $150 it made will be of great use in fighting climate change. See, $80 per theater. That's how popular AOC is. $80 per theater. Blockbuster hit grossing an average of $81 per screen. Not a joke. Look it up. I mean, this is like, where are all the positive comments? What this is really a, what's the word for it? Like a referendum. People don't want to see crappy movies that preach at them. That's really what it is. Look at 18 reviews. More critics reviewed this than saw it in the theater, than people that paid to see it. Those critics all didn't pay to see it either. Of course, 83%. Here's what I've found with critics. When a woke movie comes out and it sucks, they just don't review it. Remember that weird Christmas movie that's like anti-Christian or whatever that Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman did? It was terrible. And it was super woke, super garbage, super offensive. And just nobody reviewed it because they knew if they reviewed it, they'd have to at least somewhat be no one would trust them again. That's why this movie has 18 reviews. 18. Representative Ocasio-Cortez offers the best on-screen antidote to despair. She's funny, a canny political strategy. What? Who? Okay, at least some people reviewed it negatively. There's no doubt that this issue is fundamental to a functioning existing society. This documentary is simply not the film to tackle it. How about as for how this legislation actually affects the environment, that's left between the lines of this documentary. A bummer semi-sequel Lear should call The Fossil Fuel Empire Strikes Back. Okay, that's funny. I mean, this film, like, Americans are absolutely tired of this. And I suppose I expect everyone around the world. I mean, there's not a single positive comment in here. Like, it's Read the Room. What a dumb effing movie. I mean, this is how out of touch. This is how an out of touch nitwit and her friends work it. I had to see what all the laughter was about. And if the trailer is nutty, the movie won't fall far from the tree. Lamau, neo-Marxist, progressive, woke crap. Winner of the best comedy of 2022. I mean, like, you did fail. For once, the media was right. Look, I entitled Women, the movie. I want, look, I tell you what, like, I'm a tree hugger. I do, obviously I think we should do everything we can to help the environment. What I don't think we should do is, be taking advice from a bartender, you know? And I would have to say that, you know, she's good for business because we get to dunk on her all the time, but yikes. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.